M. Fletcher Brown with another artist video blog at KIX96country.com. Our guest today, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, by way of the great state of New York. Please welcome Shane from the Dushane Band. How are you, Shane?
How you doing?
Now,
Thank you for having me here.
let's talk a little bit about Dushane.
Okay.
Now, you guys, as far as a band, as a whole band,
Yeah.
you guys run in some pretty interesting circles. We were just talking a little minute ago about band members who are related to rock and roll royalty, famous rockers. You're originally from New York.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
to us a little bit about where Dushane Band came from, how you guys put this together, and where your sound comes from.
It's like a Jeopardy question.
Yes, it is.
Double Jeopardy.
But you don't have to answer in the form of a question.
Right. Okay. So, all right. So, I was brought up in Brooklyn. My dad was a Johnny Cash fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
He loved Johnny Cash, and every week we'd watch Hee Haw. And it was the thing to do. So it was always part of the backbone in my writing. And then as, I've gotten older, I've went here, a little bit of this, grabbed a taste of this, grabbed a taste of that, put it together. All the guys that I play with at this point are friends that I've known for a real long time, almost when we were little kids.
Mm-hmm.
As you were saying, the guitar player of the band, his father's in the Rascals, Felix Cavalieri. He's my guitar player, he's a Yank, he's a great player. We got various people that play with us at shows, like pedal steel guys. It's always a different guy every show.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are hard to nail down. And we got a violin player who's a girl, and she's a neurologist.
Mm-hmm.
She's the only one that's not blue collar, like the rest of us.
Yeah.
And the drummer's friends of mine for years, through our local clique. Same thing with the bass player. Bass player worked at Saturday Night Live for a long time. He was one of the musicians up there.
Okay. So now you're all more or less from the New York area.
Everybody's from New York City.
All right.
That's correct.
What's it like being a country band in New York?
Well, okay. That's a Jeopardy question, too. Okay, all right, so country music is about stories, right?
Yeah, it's all about stories.
It's all about good stories, and your real New Yorker is a blue-collar guy. And a small bar, even in Manhattan, you have small bars where it's all local people who grew up outside of the city, and they talk about their experiences, what's going on in their life, their jobs, their problems, at home, work, whatever. It's a story. And, that's country. Straight up, no matter where you live, it's the different problems, same situation. You know what I mean? Whether it's here or it's out there. That's what drives me for country music personally.
Most of New York State is actually rural farmland. You get into the
That's
city,
true.
it's one thing, but you get out.
That's very
You
true.
go north of the city, west to the city. It's like it's all rural country.
Yeah.
So that makes perfect sense. So who other than Johnny Cash, who are some of like you and other members of the band? What kind of influences do you guys bring to your sound?
Southern rock was big for us. The Outlaws, obviously Skinner. Allman Brothers has always been one of my favorite bands throughout my entire life. And of course Hank,
Oh yeah.
Merle, and George Jones, those guys are, believe it or not, they have a staple in New York City.
Yeah.
Especially Hank. Everybody loves Hank. I've been covering Hank songs, like Hey Good Looking since I was a child. So, like that.
Well, okay. Now you mentioned a lot of like classic country artists, that folks, our listeners, myself, we all grew up on, we all love. Coming to music from that base, how would you say you feel, the Dushane Band feels about the current like music as it was then, the entertainment industry then versus the entertainment industry now?
Well, that's another loaded question. All right, so, it really is. Artists have taken back a little control, and it's, I used to be in a blues-ish rock band, and we were signed to MCA. And
Law and Order?
Yeah, Law and Order, right. And, that was, they throw a lot of money at you. You do your record, and you get on the road, and you do your thing, but at the end of the day, when you're asking, all right, how much did we make? Like, well, we got to pay this back and pay that back, and you weren't keeping track. So nowadays, the artist, it's all kind of front loaded, so the artist has to really bring it, you know what I mean? And they're the ones who keep the checklist, and they're the ones who realize, hey, we got to spend it here, we got to spend it there. Let's not spend it on something that's not going to really give us anything in return, I think record companies did a lot of, back in the day, they would just throw money at bands and say, do a press junket here. We did our first record, we did it in Memphis. And I got a really good story about that too. So we did a press junket at Elvis's pad. So we brought everybody over to like magazines from all over the world. It's like 250 magazine people down there, because we figured that would jumpstart us for the first tour. And then at the end of the day, we didn't make any money. We sold right out of the bucket like 100,000 records, and it was like there was no money yet. And I was like, oh, we ain't ever going to make money. You know that. Shouldn't have listened to management. So, all right, a story?
Yeah,
okay,
go for it.
So as you know, there's two big recording studios in Memphis, right? Arden, and there's Kiva. Okay, so Kiva is the Joe Walsh family, who owns the Peabody in town. So we were figuring out which recording studio we were going to go into. They brought us to both, and they says, all right, this is Kiva. And they says, well, hold on a second, there's an artist in there, and he's playing right now. Give him a couple of minutes. So we're waiting outside, and I'm like, oh, this guy could really rip. What a great guitar player. So he says, all right, guys, you can go in there, right? And I'm walking in. There's like a bunch of chicken wire all over the amplifier, right? And I'm like, what's this about? And the guy goes, well, let's keep the RF out. And I was like, the RF? And, I was young. I didn't know. I said, RF, what does that mean? He says, the radio frequency. I was like, oh, yes. So he goes, check out my guitar. Check it out, right? So I'm playing this guitar. And I look up, and he says, hey, what's your name? I said, my name is Dushane. He goes, what's your name? He goes, my name's Stevie. I said, Stevie, huh?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yes. And I was like, oh, snap. Oh, I missed this one. And it was Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Wow.
Like one of his last, I think that was his last year before, the accident.
Wow. All right, so let's talk about Dushane Band. Let's talk about the music.
Okay.
Your current single, Can't Slow Down, Forever From Now is coming out right behind that.
Correct.
You guys write your own songs, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Right.
So as an independent artist, do you prefer to write your own music, or are
Yes.
you out there looking for like some Nashville songs?
No, I don't. I want to keep it all, in my head. I can write songs on the spot anytime, right? So all I really do is, if I don't have an idea as like how I want to write the lyrics, I ask people about their lives, and I record it and I write it down, and I ask them, hey, do you mind if I write about your situation? Whether it's a love story, whether it's about hard times, or most of the time in New York, it's about hard times.
Yeah.
So most of our stuff is kind of like a joyful hard time, but that's the way I like to do it. So if I'm out of material, I ask people, tell me about your story, and they'll tell me, and there's the song right there.
All right, well, Can't Slow Down, the current single, what's it?
Well, my bass player can't slow down, and we're driving home from Erie, Pennsylvania. I'm going down this hill, and I'm like, look, we got a really small car. I says, and I haven't slept in 3 days, so if you're doing the driving, please don't go fast. We're gonna, hydroplane. So sure enough, you feel it. You're almost asleep, and it's hydroplaning, and it's like, you feel like you're in a movie. Everything's spinning around. I'm like, Joe, what are you doing? He goes, oh man, you don't need this. I'm really sorry, man. I just can't slow down, right? So I was like, all right, here we go again. Tell me why you can't slow down. What's going on in your head? And I'm writing it down, and there's a song.
Okay. All right. Well, about Forever For Now. That's the next single. Now, if you judge a book by its cover, Forever For Now, it seems self-explanatory, but explain it.
Okay. So same thing. I'm in the car, and the guy's saying, I don't know. I love my wife. I'm trying to do everything I can to please her, but she's just like a mean-eyed woman, And I come home, and the dog's got an attitude, and kids stealing my booze in the closet. I'm like, yeah, keep going, right? I was like, all right. So it seems like it's gonna happen forever, like for now. And he says, yeah, that's what it is, forever for now. And then there's a song.
Okay, so that's the next single from Dushane Band.
Yeah.
Can't Slow Down. There's a current single. You listen for it on KIX96. We have you play it for you. Of course, where do they find you on the internet if they're looking for Dushane Band?
Well, we got a couple of forms that you can get us on. You get us on our website, which is DushaneMusic.com. We have a Facebook page. That's Dushane Band with a double D at the end because someone took Dushane Band.
Really?
Yeah, so we had to go double D, twice as big. Okay, not in that way. That's what look. This is what the DJs always tell me. They're always messing with me. They're like, you ought to go twice as big, right? So, give me anything by it. So, Dushane Band with 2 D's at the end of it. We have a Twitter page, Dushane Band. It's all Dushane Band.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 12 pages of Google. Anything will lead you to anything. We have a Vimeo page, which is Dushane Band. Everything Dushane Band, straight up. God, I hope that didn't sound bad.
It was awesome.
I got this foot in there already. I don't want to put a couple more feet, and I'm really sorry that didn't.
Look for a live performance from Shane elsewhere on our channel. Thanks for so much for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Dushane, look him up on the web, on social media, and
Yes,
you can
please.
hear Forever For Now is the next single coming to KIX96.
Okay.
We'll see you next time on another artist video blog, KIX96country.com.